Hi everyone. Today is April the 2nd and doing the live stream next to the stream again. It's a little bit cold out, but the sun is shining and it is really nice. So my plan right now going forward is I will definitely read any Bible verses or any chapters that you guys suggest. But if no one actually says, hey, I want to read this, then I'm just going to read the devotional for the day and then the Proverbs that coincides with the day. Judy Tripp let me know that one of her daily devotions is to read the psalm that corresponds to the day of the month, and there's one psalm for each day of the month. So there's 31 Psalms, there's 31 Proverbs, and from the 1st all the way to the 31st. So today we're going to read Proverbs 2, and then the devotional from Jesus' Calling, written in this perspective of Jesus for today. And for those that have been joining me the few times that I've done it, thank you. I don't know, it's kind of weird. It's a nice way to connect. It's a nice way to feel like I'm doing something. It's a good excuse to get out and get some sun and stay in my backyard. Here's April 2nd from Jesus' Calling, written in as if Jesus were talking to us directly. And thank you for joining me in this kind of group devotional. I promise to meet all your needs according to my glorious riches. Your deepest, most constant need is for my peace. I have planted peace in the garden of your heart, where I live. But there are weeds growing there too. Pride, worry, selfishness, unbelief. I am the gardener, and I am working to rid your heart of those weeds. I do my work in various ways. When you sit quietly with me, I shine the light of my presence directly into your heart. In this heavenly light, peace grows abundantly, and weeds will shrivel up. I also send trials into your life, when you must trust me in the midst of trouble. Peace flourishes and weeds die away. Thank me for your troublesome situations. The peace they can produce far outweighs the trials you endure. The Bible verses that inspired that. And God will meet all your needs according to his glorious riches in Christ Jesus. Philippians 4:19. Now, may the Lord of peace himself give you peace always, in every way. The Lord be with you all. 2 Thessalonians 3:16. And then lastly, for our light and momentary troubles are achieving for us an eternal glory that far outweighs them all. 2 Corinthians 4:17. So that's the devotion for today. And that idea of, okay, so how can our troubles get us closer to the people that God kind of wants us to be, the people that we want to be? How can we see God amidst our troubles? And right now we're all going through something, learning to be silent again. The earth is healing a little bit from us. There's a lot of things in that. And so I guess before we move on to the next part, hey Fred and Amber, thank you for joining. Just read a devotional. I'm gonna pray a bit. Lord, worry and anxiety and pride and selfishness and unbelief, Lord, in these moments of trouble and struggle, I pray that you can help weed those out, and that we can learn to trust in you, in the financial crisis that some of us are already starting to feel, and the health crisis that some of us are starting to feel. I lift up all our healthcare workers, everybody on the front lines at all the grocery stores, the truck drivers. I lift them all up to you, Lord. I pray for peace and protection. And having to go to the hospital last night at 3 a.m. For somebody, I pray for health and healing there as well. And yeah, Lord, as life still continues on, there's a lot of interesting struggles, and I pray that we can turn to you for strength, wisdom, and guidance, and that you can be the garden, that you can cultivate the things that need to grow, and you can help us minimize the things and the weeds that need to go. I spent a few hours de-weeding my garden, and I know weeds are still there, and they're still going to come out, Lord, but that idea of you being the gardener is something that a lot of us can relate to. So I thank you for that imagery and how you speak to us in ways that we can understand. Throughout thousands of years, we can still understand and relate to a lot of the examples that you gave us to reveal just a little bit more about who you are. So thank you for meeting us in our troubles and all of that jazz too. All right. A couple more people. Hey. Yeah, surrender them. Giving up is one of my favorite things that we can do. The term give up often is associated with so much bad stuff, but when you just go, you know what? No, Lord, I give it up. I give up to you. I give it physically up, instead of, giving up and it's just dropping it on the ground. But to give it up is one of the best things that we can do. One of the best things that I can do as a follower of Christ is to actually give up to God. I know the word surrender is also one of those things that is used by a lot of people, used in the scripture, or submit. And as someone that likes wrestling and stuff like that, it's often seen also as giving up. So when I heard it framed as the give up, I was just like, yeah, you know what? I like that. I like that for that phrase, give up. And I think it means kind of, to me, in my understanding, the way that it, I think, was originally intended to be. Hey, Haley. So if anyone wants anything read, please let me know, and I'm more than willing to read it. I am going to read the Proverbs for today. If you guys missed that, there's a proverb, or not a proverb. There's proverb. There's a proverb for each day of the month, and unless someone asks me to read something else, and I will go back if I missed the comments. I'm going to read Proverbs 2. Yeah, instead of trying to fight God on something, who, he's going to win. To give up. It's interesting. So in this Bible, and I'm going to try to read a lot of the Old Testament, because I really like, I don't know the Old Testament nearly as well as I should. And in this Bible, the Jesus-centered Bible, it relates the Old Testament back to the New, and they're highlighted in blue, as you guys can probably see there. I don't know how good the feed is. And whenever I reach a blue thing, I'm going to stop, pause, and read how it relates to the New Testament. Proverbs 2, starting at verse 1. It's been a little while since I read this myself. Proverbs isn't traditionally one of the books I go back to, but this is something I'm going to start doing in my reading. So, yeah, and I am not a great reader, as you guys just witnessed. So, So, Proverbs 2, verse 1. My child, listen to what I say, and treasure my commands. Tune your ears to wisdom, and concentrate on understanding. Cry out for insight, and ask for understanding. Search for them as you would for silver. Seek me like a hidden treasure. Then you will understand what it means to fear the Lord, and you will gain knowledge of God. For the God grants wisdom. From his mouth come knowledge and understanding. He grants treasure of common sense to the honest. He is a shield to those who walk with integrity. So from 1 to 7, it's all highlighted in blue. So Proverbs 2, 1 to 7. Here, wisdom and insight and understanding are described as treasures that we search for because they are so valuable. Later, Jesus describes the kingdom of heaven as a treasure that we search for and sell everything to get. And the kingdom of heaven is exemplified by God's wisdom, insight, and understanding. From Matthew 13, 44 to 46. All right, so I'm going to continue now with, hey, Matt, thanks for joining, man. Doing a Bible study, reading Proverbs 2, continuing again from verse 8. Ugh, my pages are flying everywhere. It's like I'm outside and there's wind or something. All right. He guards the paths of the just and protects those who are faithful to him. When you understand what is right, just, and fair, you will find the right way to go. For wisdom will enter your heart, and knowledge will fill you with joy. Wise choices will watch over you. Understanding will keep you safe. Wisdom will save you from evil people, for those whose words are twisted. These men turn from the right way and walk down dark paths. They take pleasure in doing wrong. They enjoy the twisted ways of evil. Their actions are crooked, and their ways are wrong. Wisdom will save you from the immoral woman, from seductive words of the promiscuous woman. She has abandoned her husband and ignores the covenant she made before God. Entering her house leads to death. It is the road to the grave. The man who visits her is doomed. He will never reach the paths of life. So follow the steps of the good. Stay on the paths of the righteous. For only the godly will live in the land, and those with integrity will remain in it. But the wicked will be removed from the land, and the treacherous will be uprooted. So that's kind of cool. Going back a little bit to a gardening theme at the end, which I wasn't expecting. So that was kind of cool how they tied together. I did not read that ahead of time and plan it. I swear to you, I didn't. I was just like, hey, this is what to do. And yeah. So that idea of God being the gardener, I think is an image to kind of keep in our heads, right? Sometimes a garden doesn't take a lot of time. A garden grows and develops over time, and if you just rip out all the weeds as everything's growing, you're probably going to rip out some good stuff too. So God lets things grow and let things mature, and he takes time. He wants you to develop those good things. But when those weeds and those troubles kind of enter into your life, that doesn't necessarily mean God's not there and he doesn't care. Probably quite the contrary, but he's not just going to rip it away, because what else will he be ripping out with it? And then the other thing that kind of jumped out to me in this was talking about the woman, and like, okay, so these women are going to lead you astray type deal. And it made me think of Ezekiel 23. I'm not going to read it right now. If you do read it, you're going to kind of be like, holy cow, this is graphic and belongs on Cinemax or something. But in there it talks about these women that were abused, and then they seek out to abuse and to be abused again. So these seductive women were hurt by men that are now going back and hurting and leading men astray. So as I read that, it gives that warning against immoral women. I think part of that is these women that were already hurt by guys. So be smart, be protective, women and guys, about people that are just wanting to use you and abuse you, and try to make those smart choices. And that's what we need to rely on at the beginning of this, which is seeking the hidden treasure, and you will understand what it means to fear the Lord, to gain knowledge, and the Lord grants wisdom. Out of his mouth come knowledge and understanding. He grants treasure of common sense to the honest, and shield those who walk in integrity. And that's how we protect ourselves as we go up through life. The whole he describes the kingdom of heaven as treasure and sell everything. That idea of gardener, I'm still kind of shocked that came up in both sessions. So, hey Liz. If anyone wants me to read anything else, give a little bit of like insight to anything. Not that I know everything by far. I probably know next to nothing, but I'm willing to go in and do it and fight through stuff and go, you know what, I don't know. I've stayed in Ezekiel 23 for like a month because I'm like, why on earth is this in here? If anyone does read that, let me know, because it's still one of those things where it's just like, wow, I'm impressed that it's in there. I don't think it'd get away with that. If the Bible was written today, there's no way that would come out. But thinking a lot about how, just God as a gardener and giving up, and how when we give up to God, life can become a lot easier. The stress and anxieties that we have can get a lot easier. As we give up to God, we surrender our heart as a garden that, you know what, He's in control of weeding and gardening and watching things. He will give us insights and wisdom and knowledge, and He will protect us. And He might not rip out that weed, because if that weed has a chance to grow, it's going to get tangled up with the good stuff. If He just rips out that one weed, then how much other stuff is going to come out and get ripped out of the garden with it? How many, like in our own lives, but also like in the world today, there's a lot of like bad intentioned people, and if He just rips that out, then what's the ripple effect going to be? We have a really easy way of just like zoning in and focusing. But for today, that was my live stream next to the stream. It's a little bit smaller today. I'm sitting in a bit of a different location. I got the train tracks here. No train interrupting us today. Hey Nicole, hey Zach. Thank you for coming in. You're coming in right near the end. I'm going to pray, but if someone wants something that I want to read, I'm more than happy to continue reading my Bible out here. So I'm just going to pray once again, and AJC, awesome Jesus Christ. I thank you so much that one, I can sit out by the stream, that the sun's shining, that the birds are chirping, that the world is still alive, even though we are physically distancing ourselves. With all the cases that have popped up of COVID-19 in Orangeville and in all of our surrounding communities, Lord, I pray and lift up all the healthcare teams. I thank you for everything that they are doing and everything that they're sacrificing. I thank you for all the Walmart, Freshco, grocery store employees, even the restaurant employees that are doing their deal. And one, they are doing it, getting some hours, but they are serving the community, putting themselves at risk. For all the families that are worried about where the next meal is going to come from, how they're going to protect their kids, I lift all of them up to you too. And I pray as we're struggling through this that we can learn to give up to you, not give up to sin, not give up to temptation. Everyone's sitting alone in their rooms, finding ways of escaping, Lord, and the whole push of free pornography that's going on. I pray for the people that struggle with that to be able to not give up to Pornhub, but to give up to you, Lord. For the people that struggle with alcoholism, I pray that this is an opportunity to break that cycle and break that and do it over the course of, a little while. Like, it doesn't have to be cold turkey. They don't have to have withdrawals and end up in the hospital. But I pray that all the drug and alcohol addicts, the narcotics addicts, that they can find ways of weaning off their addictions. That you can reach into their life and help slowly remove those weeds and not rip out anything extra. I pray that we can be good gardens that are rooted in your stream of life, your life-giving stream, your life-giving water, your living water. I pray that we can be connected, that we can be a garden close to it, that our roots can touch. I pray for insight, for wisdom, for knowledge, that I and everyone else on my live stream here can live lives worthy of you, where we're not afraid to let go and to give up to you, that we're not afraid to let you be you and for us to play the background. All right. Well, yeah, the Canadian flag right there. I live, no one comes to my house, especially right now, right next to it. So I like, the other day I had it framed a little bit more like this. So it was kind of like, yeah, the Canadian flag's right there. Anyways, thank you all. Hey, Cassandra. Thank you all for joining. It was awesome. I am not seeing any Bible requests, but if you guys have any, I'm for sure going to do this next on Sunday, and I might end up doing it almost daily as long as the weather allows it. I don't know. If you guys like it, let me know. It's nice to kind of connect and invite you guys in to my time with God. So yeah, I appreciate it. God bless you as well, Barbara. Thank you so much for joining and everything that you're doing over at the hospital. I saw you when I went to go get a test at the first time. I was like, yeah, God's present here as well. So it was actually encouraging as I was waiting in line. But yeah, thank you all. I'm doing pretty good, Cassandra. Doing this. This is like my 4th or 5th one. I filmed a bunch of stupid Hulk videos and been staying pretty much entertained. Been playing a lot of Jackbox games at night, and that's been going really well. How are you doing? I guess I'll stay for a little bit and have conversations with anyone that wants to. Hey, Doug. Yeah, I guess one of the questions I have for you guys is one, yeah, how are you guys handling the self-isolation, and is there anything that you guys got out of the Bible study today? I kind of shared what I got out of it, but yeah, if you guys got something out of it, let me know. Don't be afraid to send me some private messages throughout the day. I usually check Messenger quite frequently. And if there's anything that you guys want me to read, once again, I want to stress that, like, right now my agenda is I'm reading my devotion with you guys, and I'm going to be reading the proverb for the day. But if there's more, I'm definitely willing to do that. I'm glad that you are keeping busy. But Cassandra, I'll send you a message afterwards, and you can tell me how, because I'm kind of curious. I'm doing the Jackbox games, and having no internet yesterday was, let's just say, fun. Went for a drive, ended up playing some hide and go seek in the cars, where we just kind of met, and we'd flash our lights, and we were definitely social distancing. Tried to do it very safely. But yeah, anyways, guys, thank you once again. Hey, Jen. Yeah, John often joins us for the Jackbox stuff. So if you guys want a friend code, some of the games are up to 8-10 people, so feel free. I would download Discord ahead of time because that's where we stream it through. But yeah, hopefully see you guys tonight for some Jackbox, and probably tomorrow if it's going to be sunny like this for tomorrow's Bible study. So yeah, thank you very much. God bless. Later. And I guess my phrase that I'm using for the whole Corona stuff is smash the curve. Oh yeah, that's the other thing. If you guys want any more of the Hulk videos, let me know as well. All right. Bye, guys. God bless. It's not closing.